Where did you get them?
There's a shop full of them, 3 doors up, 4 doors up. Should go in there.
Oh, wow, sorry about that. Don't worry.
Crazy head.
See how you... Oh, okay. All right. Come on in then.
All for one?
All for one and all for more gigs
All
like
for
that.
me.
There you go.
That's a little bonding right there. Enough bonding, piss off, guys.
Some of the closest we get to male bonding,
Exactly.
physically.
You become more than just a team. It becomes personal, you know. I mean, you don't have to screw somebody to be, like, with them, you know. I mean, you can be with somebody, like, deeper than you'd ever be with your wife or your husband, you know, because you work with them for a while and you click into something, and nobody can define that either. It's like that electric spark when you meet somebody you really fancy. It's the same sort of thing. You know, it's the same fulfillment thing about it. And it's a great thing, and you can't analyze it. And I love it because of that.
The band play 3 gigs in a row and then have a day off when they get to Bristol.
Have a day off, see the kids and walk my dog, my little dog. I might bring my dog to the gig, actually. Ozzy.
Is it called Ozzy?
Yeah, because he shits himself all the time. Like, yeah. No, he's beautiful. I might do that. So that's the sort of plan for tomorrow.
Are you looking forward to seeing your family?
Oh, yeah. But I probably won't see much of them. They'll probably send me down Tesco's or something like that.
Lemmy never really knew his father. He was a vicar who walked out on Lemmy and his mother when Lemmy was just 3 months old. He didn't see him again until he was 25 and living in London.
I met him in Dino's Pizza, I think it was, in Old Square Road. An auspicious, you know, venue, don't you think? And he was this little rat guy with glasses, you know. And he started going on about how guilty he felt. I said, look, you know, I said, I'm in a rock and roll band, I know, because he was apparently a really good pianist, right, but he never took it up. And I said, I'm in a rock and roll band. If you really feel bad about it, give me $1,000, I can buy some equipment, because I've blown my amp, you know, which was true. And I said, then you can forget it. It'll all be fair play and, you know, bibbidi-bobbidi-boo again. And he said, oh, I couldn't do that. He said, the music business is so uncertain. You know, it was his terms again, you know what I mean? He said, I was thinking I would train you to be a commercial traveller, you know, and then you can make a living. I said, you're lucky the fucking pizza hasn't arrived yet, because you'd be wearing it, you know what I mean? Be your new hat, like. And I just walked out, you know. It was nothing, you know, he didn't mean anything. He didn't have my interest at heart at all. You know, it was just his guilt he wanted to calm, you know. So I didn't do him that favour, I'm afraid. Another example of my fuck you-ness, you know.
The experience has had a profound effect on Lemmy's life.
There's no divine being who's all-powerful, else it wouldn't be this fucked up, would it? You know, that was one of the first reactions I had to the church, you know, because my father was a vicar, you know. And, like, I thought to myself, well, how... If he was a vicar in touch with God, you know, how come him and my mother are so desperately unhappy that they're to break up, you know? And, like, how is it that the Catholic Church says I have to be declared illegitimate for to marry a Catholic man, my stepfather, you know? I mean, how could the church do that if they're in touch with God, you know? So fuck God, and fuck the devil, and fuck the church too. You know, I'm responsible for my actions. I don't need to hide behind nothing, you know. The devil didn't make me do it. I did it. Whatever I did.
Lemmy has consciously avoided commitment to anything but his band all his life.
Why is it about commitment? That's the thing the church put on you in the 14th century, you know. That's fucking primitive commitment. You want to face the same face over the fucking cornflakes for the rest of your life? I don't. That's boring, you know. That's tedious, especially when the figure starts to go and the teeth start to fall out and shit, you know. I mean, and the other way, looking at me over the cornflakes for the rest of her life, you know, ain't no fun either. You know, variety is the spice of life, I say.
Lemmy has 2 children that he knows of, but his attitude to fatherhood is unconventional.
I never met the first one because she was adopted at birth. She was 15, very bad news in those days. You know, oh no, they had sex. Shit. His mother went and found him about 3 years ago. And she's a social worker now, right? She wears them paisley smock things, you know, she's kind of bohemian looking. And she went up there, and he was adopted by an older couple, you know, so it's like living with your grandparents all your life. So she said he put his head in his hands when she told him she was his mother. She said he hadn't got the heart to tell him who his father was, like. Probably would have been out on the, you know. So that takes care of that question, I suppose.
He might be delighted.
Hmm?
He might be delighted.
He might not be too, and it's not worth my satisfaction at meeting my son, you know, to ruin his fucking life, you know.
Lemmy met his second son by accident when he bumped into an ex-girlfriend. The boy was already 6 years old.
This little blonde kid comes in and goes, "You're my daddy," you know. And he was right, you know. As he grew older, the features became more similar.
Do you wish you'd been there for him as a dad?
No, I don't, you know. I don't think it's that important. And he's a great boy, you know, and I'm very proud of him. But I didn't feel I owed him anything, you know. I mean, he was brought up by his mum, so was I. So, you know, as far as I'm concerned, that's as good of a start in life as you can have for anybody, you know. See, he's a fine young man, you know. He makes a great contribution to the music scene because he plays wonderfully well, much better than me. And he was an accident while we was having fun. I can't think of a better testament to the having funness thing of it than that, you know.
Ten days into the tour, in Manchester, Motörhead are playing to the biggest crowd so far. Back in the dressing room, the band feel it hasn't gone as well as they'd hoped.
Too fast. We're doing that when we...
That's right.
We're going, boys? No, I can't even make
One
that.
song was fast, yeah.
You better run, start to go fast.
Yeah, that was fast. The rest of it was great.
Was it? Sorry about that, chap.
All for one, and all for...
Me. Haha.
See you later.
Oh,
sorry, that was good.
Stefan, I need to talk to you.
Salami.
What?
Salami. Bologna.
So how was the show, Mickey?
Better than yesterday.
Good crowd?
No, really shitty crowd. I thought they sucked, but I don't know why. They were very quiet.
I'm going to look in 10 years' time. No, I got more wrinkles. I look like I got mumps. Should never have paid 75 quid for that, should I?
To their surprise, the venue staff are insisting the band leave on time.
Well, they don't normally kick us out of a venue.
Not this quickly.